Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fraser Field for Greater Boston League Baseball. Link Glasgow entertaining the Medford Mustangs. Glasgow 7-2, Medford 6-4, but they're 6-1 in the league. And Coach was telling me they're in first place in the Greater Boston League, so a big game here because Glasgow's got 2 losses in the league. They got a chance to get even with Medford in the league. Christian Figueroa on the mound, and it would be magical if he could duplicate what he did the last time he was on the mound here. He pitched a no-hitter, struck out 14, the least amount of hitters you can face in a 7-inning game is 21. He faced 22. He didn't give up a hit. He pitched a no-hitter. He walked 2, but one of them was thrown out stealing, so he was 1 over. 1 away from pitching a perfect game. David Crohan, the catcher, will lead off for Medford. In for a strike. Glasgow trying to get back on the winning track with their new coach, Coach Regato, and virtually a new coaching staff. High for a ball. Great play by Figueroa. That was going up the middle for a hit. He fell down. As he fell down, he knocked it down. Recovered, got it, and he throws Crowhead out. Nice defensive play by Figueroa to help himself. That looked like a base hit up the middle. John Wright, the pitcher, so it's pitcher against pitcher here. Action again over at Manning Field with track. I don't know if it's a meet or if it's practice. Down and away for a ball. So Christian Figueroa on the mound throwing to Boo DeSea. In for a strike. That had a little bit of mustard on it. Curveball drops in. Quickly 1-2. The 1-2 pitch up and coming. Hit by the mound. Very nice play by Damien Munoz. Had to come in, get behind the mound, play the off hop. Wright gets down the line quickly, but Munoz throws him out. Just high enough to get by the pitcher. And slow enough so the second baseman had to come in right behind the mound and make the play. Picked it off the turf, off hop, made the good throw. And there's 2 outs. Curveball drops on the corner. Rocco Pucci, the first baseman, is the hitter. Swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2. Way up and in. Scattering of Glasgow fans. A few Malden fans have made it for this Wednesday afternoon game. Strike 3 called. He watched that pitch. What a nice pitch. So a fairly easy inning for Figueroa. 2 ground outs. He took care of one of himself. He was responsible for 2 runs. He gets 2 outs, excuse me. He got an assist and a strikeout. So Glasgow will have a chance to get on the board first. It'll be Mark Walsh, the shortstop, leading off. Damien Munoz, the second baseman, will bat second. Playing center field and batting third, Roki Brea. In a cleanup spot is the pitcher, Christian Figueroa. Ronald Brea, the right fielder, will hit number 5. Catching and batting sixth, Boo Desea. The left fielder, Emerson Lara, will hit number 7. Batting eighth and playing first base, Gavin Collins. And the third baseman, Braden Owenesian, will pick up the tail end of the batting order, batting ninth. And they'll bat against John Wright on the mound for Medford. And he's throwing to Dave Cohan, the catcher. A beautiful day. We're finally getting some decent weather. We're going to fight through Alaska December, January weather early in the season. Now it's up 70s, blue skies, not a cloud in the sky. Sun shining brightly. People can come with shorts and t-shirts and not have to bundle up in winter gear. Even with all that bad weather, there's only one baseball game that was rained out, and that was English Revere, first game of the season. And that's going to be replayed next week. So Rich Avery, who's the keeper of the keys for Fraser and Manning, they get that game in. He's in pretty good shape, schedule-wise, because it's a horror show for him if games are not played. They have schedule with 4. It's bad enough here at Fraser with 4 baseball teams. Used to be 5. Kip is now combined with Tech. But over at Manning, it's even worse because you got lacrosse, you got flag football, you got soccer. You got a men's soccer league that plays on Sunday. You got Pump Warner football. So many events at Manning. Hit right back to the pitcher. So both teams start with a bounce out to the pitcher. Both pitchers get an assist for the first out. Damien Munoz, who made that nice play on the ground ball to second, will be the hitter. Nice sportsmanship. He tapped the umpire and tapped the catcher for Medford. Swing and a miss. Got his money's worth on that swing. It swung right through it. High for a ball. Foul tip off the catcher. One, two, the count to the Rams second baseman. Hit foul back to the screen. Munoz stays alive at 1 and 2. Roki Brea, the center fielder, on deck. Line to the center field, coming on right at the center fielder. Mike Piccolo picks off that line drive by Munoz. He hit it well, but hit it right at the center fielder. So 2 up, 2 down. Roki Brea had an outstanding basketball season, helping Glasgow make the tournament and win a game or 2 in the tournament. Down and in for a ball. He's having a good start here for Glasgow. He played very well in the outfield. He's got some big hits. High for a ball. Hit the third. Big hop off the third base hit. Took a big hop and exploded right in his face. That's a base hit. He went to get it, went down, and it just took a hop off the turf right up into his face. So a base hit for Rocky Brea. He's got the first hit of the game. He's the first base runner. And we'll bring up the pitcher, Christian Figueroa. Let's see if they try to steal second base. That tough for the third baseman. Almost took his head off. He went down to get it. It just exploded right up in his face. Usually it doesn't take that bad a hop, but it took a really bad hop. Way up and in. Runner takes off. Line shot going foul down the right field line. Nice play by Rocco Pucci, who stepped a couple of steps in foul territory right at first base and picked that line drive. They had Brea going. So Glasgow gets a base hit. They leave a runner. They get the first hit of the game. We played one in this great Boston League battle. Still nothing to choose. Glasgow nothing, Medford nothing going into the second inning. 4, 5, and 6 for Medford as we start the second inning. Justin Marino, the shortstop, will lead it off against Christian Figueroa. In for a strike. Hit foul back up in the seats. The 0-2 pitch, up and coming. Pitching down the way for a ball. Good waste pitch by Figueroa trying to get Marino to chase. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased the high fastball. So back-to-back strikeouts for Figueroa. He got one to end the first. He gets the second to start the second inning. Travis Moody, the left fielder, will be the hitter. That's going to go out of play. Down that grassy knoll behind first base. I made friends with the Medford coach, really good guy. I told him before, I did a lot of Medford football games when I did them playing Everett in first strike. And now I'm doing Medford games again, more games, basketball, football, baseball, because now English and Classical are in the Greater Boston League. So I get to do a lot of Medford games. And I get to go back home and do some Everett games, although I'm doing it for Lynn Cable, not Everett Cable. Line to right field, coming over by the line. What a play by Brea. That was right on the right field line. That was going to be a base hit. If he doesn't get it, go by him. It's going to be a double or a triple. Had 6'3" frame or so. He just leaned out across and picked it. What a great play. That's an ESPN highlight. He's only a freshman. He was way off the line for a right-hand hitter, and he went way right to the line, and it was right on the line. It was going to be a fair ball, and he just stretched that big frame and picked it as he was going down. What a great play. Hit the second base. That's a very nice deep play by Munoz. He was, for right-handed hitter, was way over by second base. He had to go way to his left. Takes a base hit away from Jaden Burns, the third baseman, who looked like he had a base hit going into right field. So two big defensive plays. Shuts Medford down in the second inning. The first one by Breyer in the outfield. And now Muniz at second base. And Classical again will have a chance to get on the board first. And when you make a great play in the field, more often than not, you lead off, and that's what's going. Ronald Breyer made that tremendous play in right field, taking extra bases away from Moody. And probably a run, because if that goes by, it's going to be at least a triple. And a ground ball to second would have brought in a run. So after that great play in the outfield, he'll lead off the second inning. It'll be Ronald Breyer, Budasea, and Emerson Lara for the Rams under new coach Regato, who won his first game as the new head coach. Last game he probably should have won. Very difficult loss to Revere. 1-0 on an infield error in the fifth inning. Braden Nation pitched an outstanding game and came out on the short end. Classical had a lot of base runs but couldn't get the big hit. Revere made some outstanding defensive plays. If you have a chance to watch on LETV, Classical Revere game, watch it. Outstanding defense on both sides. But it was a tough error in the fifth inning. They got the run at second base. He scored on a 2-out hit. 1-0 Revere beat Classical. So they're trying to get back on the winning track for new head coach Regato. Chop foul behind home plate. Swing and a miss in on the hands, swung right through it. Quickly 0-2. Chop foul toward the Classical bench. Count stays 0-2. Wright was able to throw. Breyer asked for timeout. The umpire said, I gave it to you, but let's not do that again. Wright was ready to throw when he stepped out asking for time. And you got to make sure you get time. Chop foul. Past the Classical bench. You call time and step out. If the umpire doesn't call time, they throw a strike. That's strike 3 because he's 0-2. High for a ball. Low for a ball. evens the count at 2. Hit in the air. Right fielder coming on. In short right field. Alice Gazzola makes the play. So 1 up, 1 down in the second. Bujase, the catcher, will be the hitter. Boo does an excellent job behind the plate. He made one of those great defensive plays I talked about in the Revere game. A perfect bunt, but he got out quickly and picked it up and threw the hitter out. And the Revere catcher did the same thing. Chopped over the head of the pitcher. They got to hurry. That's similar to the play Classical made in the first inning. Second baseman Morando did a nice job over to Pucci, the first baseman. So 2 up, 2 down in the second. Emerson Lara, the left fielder, will be the hitter. And it hit him. So Classical has the only 2 base runners, an infield hit and a hit batsman. Gavin Collins, the first baseman, will be the hitter, and let's see if they try to get Lara. With 2 outs, they sent Brea, but Figueroa lined out to the first baseman in foul territory. Lara dives, excuse me, Lara dives back at first base. Trying to keep Lara close. Lara takes off. Got a good pitch to run on. He steals second base. And he's going to continue on to third as it bounced off the second baseman into left field. So the error on the throw. The throw was low, the error on the second baseman. Lara slid in, but has skipped out into left field. He's able to go to third. So Classical has a runner at third with 2 outs. Hit foul back. Last time they had a runner at third against Revere was with 1 out. They lined in with double play. High and tight for a ball. And we got Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in inning number 2. Way wide for a ball. The payoff pitch. Solid shot to short. Long throw across the diamond. Nice play by Marino. He was favoring second base. He had to go to his right. He slid a little bit, but he made a good, strong throw. So Classical threatens with the hit batsman, stolen base, and an error. Solid shot by Collins, but Marino took the hit away and throws the runner out. So Classical leaves the runner at third, and we still are scoreless here between Classical and Medford at the end of 2. 7, 8, and 9 for Medford as we start the third inning. Mike Piccolo, the center fielder, will be the hitter. Missing for a ball. That one goes to the backstop. 2-0. Down the way for a ball. Count goes 3-0. Piccolo will take a long look at this pitch. And on 4 pitches, Piccolo becomes the first base runner. Figueroa had retired 6 in a row. He gives up the base on balls. And Alex Cazzola, the right fielder, will be the hitter. Owen Egan is squeezing in, thinking they might try to bunt. In for a strike. So that break that streak of 4 in a row out of the strike zone. It's just a little lob toss over to first. They got him hooked up. He was going to go. Walsh will tag him out. They guessed right. He was on his way. They pick him off. The play goes 1 to 3 to 6. So their first base runner is picked off. He had no chance to get back to first base. He was taking 2 steps towards second when they threw it over. In for a strike. Hit the shot. Walsh with a nice play. Smooth as silk. 2 up, 2 down. In for a strike. This is Mike Morando, the second baseman. Two quick strikes, perfect on the outside corner. The 0-2 pitch up and coming. Morando asked for time and got it. Umpire chastising both teams. You can root for your player, but you can't heckle the other team. Way up and in for a ball. Hangs high for a ball. We got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Strike 3 called. He's got to strike out an inning. Perfect pitch. This is exactly what he did against Revere. He shut them down early on. The one base runner that Revere had was a walk given up by Figueroa, and that walk was thrown out stealing. And now in the top of the third inning, Piccolo breaks the ice, gets on base with a walk, and gets picked off. So Figueroa has faced only 9 hitters. And once again, Classical has a chance to get on the board first. It'll be 9-1-2. Owenesian, the third baseman, he was a tough loser in the game against Revere when Classical got nipped 1-0 here at Frazier Field. And they've been going strong. They came from behind and beat Danvers on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. I don't ever remember a baseball game at Frazier Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. And then they lost to Salem 1-0 on Monday. They got to rest on Tuesday, but now this is their third game in 4 days. So they've been busy. High and tight for a ball. Top of the order on deck, Mark Walsh. Wide for a ball. Hit to right center field, long run. Nice running catch by Mike Piccolo, the center fielder. Good job by the center fielder. He had to go a long way to get that one. 1 up, 1 down in the third. Mark Walsh has been up once. He bounced to the pitcher. Hit hard, but it bounced right in the midsection to right the pitcher. Hit to third. Bobbled. Safe at first. The error. Gets Walsh on base. Second error for Medford. The last one was the throw to second base that allowed the runner to go to third, but it was with 2 outs. They got out of it. Let's see if they try to get Walsh to second base. They've been running whoever got on base. Walsh dives back. He had a pretty good lead. He dives back again. Hit foul back up in the seats. Jamie Munoz hit it well, but lined it right at the center fielder. His one trip. Let's see if Walsh goes on this pitch. He takes off. Down and away. He's in with a stolen base. So Classical has another runner in scoring position, this time with only 1 out. Last time was with 2 outs. Down and in for a ball. The 1-2 pitch. Hit in the air. Long run for the right fielder. Can't make the play. It's a foul ball. Good effort by Gazzola. Had to go. He's off the line for a right-hand hitter. Had to go a long way to try and get that. Down and away for a ball. Evens the count at 2. Rocky Brea, the center fielder, on deck. Line to the second baseman, and they get a double play. Muniz hit it right on the nose. Second baseman made a great play going to his right, picked it for the second out, and then he stepped on second base for the force out because Walsh was off and running. So, Figueroa gave up a walk and only faced 3 hitters. Wright sees an error by his defense. He only faces 3 hitters. And we're still going with the scoreless tie. 0-0. Classical Medford at the end of 3. Top of the order for Medford. David Crohan bounced to the pitcher, leading off the ball game. We start the 4th inning. Hit in the air, long run for Brea. Gets there and makes the play. Nice running catch. So Classical thought they might get the lead. Muniz hit it right on the nose. Second baseman Medrano made a nice play, took 2 steps to his right, picked it. And then Pete Walsh back to the bag. Walsh with that gun arm throws John Wright, the pitcher, out. He had grounded a second his first time. Rocco Pucci, the first baseman, is the hitter. He was called out on strikes. Down the way for a ball. Figueroa needs a strikeout to keep his streak alive. He's got 1 strikeout in each of the first 3 innings. Swing and a miss. Hit high in the air. Lara, the left fielder, he was well over to left center field. Had to run a few steps for another 1-2-3 inning for Figueroa. And I sound like a broken record, but for the 4th straight time, Classical has a chance to get on the board first. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 for the Rams. Wright has done pretty well too. He gave up the infield hit to Rocky Brea with 2 outs, get out of the inning. Got a hit batsman, stole second. The throw bounced the error allowed the runner to go to third, but he got a ground out to get out of the inning. And then with one out, an error allowed Walsh to reach. He stole second, so Classical had a runner in scoring position. But Wright got out of that inning with a nice play by the second baseman, Mirando, turning what looked like a base hit into a line drive out, and then stepped on second base for the force for the double play. Keeping it 0-0. Rocky Brea is 1 for 1. He got an infield hit his first at bat. Hit a ground ball. Looked like an easy play to third, but then it just took a hop and exploded in front of, almost hit the third baseman in the face. He was on his way to steal second, and Figueroa hit a line shot that the first baseman took 2 steps right at the first base bag out into foul territory and picked it to end the inning. Two quick strikes on the outside corner. The 0-2 pitch, way up and in. Hit right past the third base coach. Foul. Nice little crowd here. Medford brought some. Classical's got a few. It's built up a little bit since we started. Hit slowly to third. Throw is in the turf. That's the third error by Medford. They threw it. Shortstop got it. Tried to make the play on the run. Brea will reach on the error. And Classical has the leadoff hitter on for the first time. Christian Figueroa, the pitcher. Let's see if they try to get Rocky Brea over to second base. They've been successful every time they've been on base. They've stole second base. In for a strike. Rocky Brea takes off. The pitch is high. Throw down, not in time. Successful again with a stolen base. So with a stolen base and error, they got a run to third with 2 outs in the second. With an error, the stolen base, they got a run to the second base with 1 out. But they couldn't get the run home. Now they got a runner at second base with no outs. Line right to the second baseman again. Figueroa has hit 2 shots. One to the first baseman, a couple of steps in foul territory. This one right to the second baseman. And now there's 1 out with a runner at second. Ronald Brea flied out to right field. They give him a lot of room in left center and right center. Center field was dead center over second base. Hit in the left field for a base hit. The runner will have to hold at third. He had a, so the Breas are at first and third. Ronald gets the base hit. Rocky Brea stops at third. He had to wait to see if the ball, make sure the ball got into the outfield. So it's first and third with 1 out. For Boo to say the catcher, he bounced out to second base as one trip. So Klasko with the first real threat. First and third and one out. They faked to third through to first. They faked to get Roky Brea. They threw to try and get Ronell Brea. I will assume he's going to steal second base. He's trying to hold him on. Good sized lead at first base, and now he takes off. Pitches in for a strike. They throw it away. Another error. 4 errors by Medford. That brings a trip out to the mound. Ronell Brea was going. Roky Brea got off the bag. The catcher threw it. Almost hit Brea. It was behind Brea. Kind of out in foul territory. And it went out into left field. Roky skips home with the first run. Ronell Brea is in scoring position at second with one out. So the wheels turning on both sides. Coach Regano talking to Klasko and Medford coach having a conference out on the mound. Pop back. That was in on the hands and hit out of play. Hit up the middle. Nice play by the second baseman. He takes a hit away and possibly a run. Very nice play by Mirando. That looked like going in the center field for a base hit. He went way to his right, got to it, made a good throw, and throws Teixeira out. Ronell Brea will go to third, but he would have scored if that goes in the outfield. So there's 2 outs. Emerson Lara got hit by a pitch, his one trip. Swing and a miss. He chased that pitch. Almost looked like a golf swing. Way down and in. Hit. Third baseman can't make the play. An infield hit for Lara gets an RBI. A big 2-out hit. Third baseman went way to his left. Went down on the turf and picked it. Actually fell down, had no chance. Lara can fly, and he gets an extra step, being a left-handed hitter. So Klasko gets 2 in the inning. And let's see if Lara steals second base. They haven't been thrown out yet. Way up and in. Lara dives back again. So Klasko breaks the tie. Breaks the ice. Lara takes off. Again. It goes in the center field. He's going to take off and go to third, so another error. The second time he's stolen second base and gone to third on an error. Five errors by Medford. Three in this inning. Nice stop by the catcher. Crowhan went to his right to block that one. If that goes by, it's another run. Collins hit it well, but hit right at the shortstop and got thrown out. Here's one trip. Swing and a miss. We got Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runs in. Deuces all over the place. Nice stop again. The runner is coming. He might have made it if he kept going. Now they call him out for going out of the baseline. If he kept coming, he might have beat the catcher. But he stopped, and they call him out. But Glasgow breaks it. They got 2 hits in the inning. 3 errors by Medford. They're very gracious guests. Glasgow's broken the tie. We finished 4. Glasgow leading Medford 2-0. I have to tell you, Josh, because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be watching. You're supposed to be right here, in here, because you're getting paid to do this, not to sit out there.
You're getting paid to tell me how to do my job here.
Yes, right. You're not going to work again. I'm telling Sean, I won't work with you again.
I'm not trying to leave you.
I won't work with you again. I won't work with you again. Pitch misses again. Justin Marino, the shortstop, struck out swinging. In for a strike, taking all the way up. They need base runners, so not going to swing at a 3-0 pitch. Lined in the center field, Memphis got their first hit. Figueroa had faced the limit through 4 innings, 12 hitters. He walked a batter, but it got picked off at first base. So he went 11 innings without giving up a hit. And in those 11 innings, he walked 3, but 2 of them were picked off. So he's been immense on the mound. Travis Moody hit a shot to right field that Ronald Brea made a great running catch on. Bujashea had to go way to his left. That was over the head of Moody. Good pitch on the corner for a strike. Down and in for a ball. Diving back at first is Marino. Line shot, out of play. Evens the count at 2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. They steal second base. But Moody chased that high pitch. Figueroa got his 4th strikeout. And are they calling him? Did they call him out at second base? Did he overslide the bag? Initially they said safe. Now he's out. So there's 2 outs. So now both runners have been thrown out. The walk was picked off. Marino got the base hit. He stole second, but I guess he overslid the bag because they said safe initially. And I didn't realize he just went to the bench because he's out. So there's 2 outs and nobody on. Chased that pitch. It was way down in. It broke down around his ankles inside. And he tried to golf at it. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hit foul, out of play. The 1-2 pitch, up and coming. Before that, Jaden Burns asked for time and got it. He's the third baseman. He's grounded out second and first his 1 trip. Now Figueroa wants to talk to his catcher. Gives the umpire time to get a new supply of baseballs. I don't know, that might be, it might be a tri-meet over at Manning Field. There's an awful lot of people. It can't be just one team practicing. Hit to right field. Brea coming in, makes the one-handed catch. So they got their first base hit. Looked like they stole second base, but came off the bag and got tagged. So for the 5th inning in a row, Figueroa only faces 3 hitters in the inning. He has struck out 4 and walked a batter. It's kind of unusual. So now he's pitched 12 innings in his last 2 starts. He's given up 1 base hit and 3 walks. And 2 of the walks and the base hit have been picked off. So he's still only 1 over the limit through 12 innings. but he broke his no-hit streak, giving up the base hit, leading off the fifth, so no hit. Went through 11 innings here at Frazier Field. It'll be 8, 9, and 1. Gavin Collins was the hitter up at bat when Lara tried to score when the ball got away from the catcher and wound up getting in a rundown and got called out for going out of the base path. Collins has grounded a shot, his one trip. Missing inside. Missing low for a ball. Braden Owenesian, the third baseman on deck. Missing low again, 3-0. So Collins will be taking this pitch. In for a strike. He can still be fussy with the count 3-1, but it's got to be a pitch he can handle if he's going to swing the bat. Lines it foul down that grassy knoll behind first base, and the count goes full. Now we can't be as fussy. He took it thinking it was inside, and it was on the corner for strike 3. First strikeout for Wright. Down the way for a ball. In for a strike. Braden flied out to center field is one trip. Hit in the air. Right fielder coming on. Short. Right field makes the play. Two up, two down in the fifth. In for a strike. Mark Walsh bounced to the pitcher and reached on an error. Down the way. He was the one that reached on the error, stole second with one out, and then a line shot by Muniz, picked by the second baseman, and the second baseman beat Walsh back to the bag for a double play. That's going to be a base hit. 2-out single by Walsh. Here to bring up Damien Munoz. I always talk about you get a good pitch, you hit it hard, and hope you get lucky. Munoz, both times he's been out, got a good pitch, hit it well, didn't get lucky. He lined out to the center fielder making a nice play, and he lined out to the second baseman into a double play with Miranda making a very nice play, taking a hit and a runaway, an RBI away. So he's 0 for 2. He's hit the ball as hard as you can. The runner takes off. Easily in with a stolen base. Walsh gets his second stolen base. Glasgow's 6 for 6 in stolen bases. Hit India, right fielder, moving on a few steps to his right, makes the play, makes 2 plays in the inning. So the hit and the stolen base go by the boards. We're finished 5 in this Greater Boston League battle. Glasgow leading Medford 2-0. 7, 8, and 9 for Medford as we start the 6th inning. Chase that pitch. It was way down and away. That would have hit a left hand. Anybody hitting from the left side, that would have hit him. That was that far outside, and he chased it. Hit in the air to center field. Brea almost stationary. Then he had to come on and make the play. Alex Cazzola grounded out the shot his one trip. On the inside corner for a strike. Waved at that pitch. High and tight for a ball. Swing and a miss. Five strikeouts in 6 innings. 4th inning is the only inning that Figueroa did not get a strikeout. Swing and a miss. Mike Miranda, the second baseman, made a couple of very nice plays at second base. He was called out on strikes as one trip. Hit sharply right to the second baseman. Munoz makes the play, another 1-2-3 inning. Figueroa has faced no more than 3 in any inning. A leadoff walk in the 3rd was picked off at first base. A leadoff single in the 5th was thrown out stealing when they overslid the bag. Those are the only 2 base runners that Medford has had. So the least amount of hitters you can face in 6 innings is 18. And that's exactly what Figueroa has reached. He's faced 18 hitters in 6 innings. And this to go along with the no-hitter he threw in the last game, where he struck out 14, only allowed 2 base runners, 2 walks, and one of them was thrown out stealing. So he's faced 1 over the limit in 13 innings. Can't get much better than that, and he's only given up 1 hit in 13 innings. He's given up those 3 walks, but 2 of them were thrown out stealing. Three, 4, and 5 for Classical as we start the bottom of the 6th. Rocky Brea has singled and reached on an error. He scored the first run when he was at first and third after a hit by brother Ronald Brea. And he tried to pick him off at third, and he threw it into left field, and he scored. One of 5 errors that Medford has made. They've made 5 errors. Medford only has 1 base hit. Amazingly, they're only down 2-0. Hit off the shortstop's glove. Brea's got his 2nd hit. He's on base for the 3rd time. Christian Figueroa has been unlucky. He hit a line shot that just went foul, but the first baseman took 2 steps in left field and picked it. The last time up, he hit it right on the nose, but the second baseman, Morando, took 2 steps to his right, picked it, and turned it into a double play. So he can't hit it any better than he's hit it both times, but he's 0 for 2. And he's gone to the right side twice. Rocky Brea has 1 stolen base. Pitch in for a strike. Classical is 6 for 6 in stolen bases. They stole 3 in the inning. They scored their 2 runs. Hit in the air. Right fielder coming on. Makes another play. That's the 4th play by the right fielder. Ronald Brea flied out to right field. Singled and scored a run. Part of that 2-run uprising. Hit to short. They get 1, they don't get 2, but they get the important one. Nice smooth play by Marino, the shortstop, to the second baseman, Morando. So 2 outs with the runner at first. Let's see if Ronald tries to get the second base with a stolen base. Pugliese has bounced to the second baseman twice. Hit foul to the backstop. Lined into right field for a base hit. Gets by the right fielder, another error. A run is going to score. A two-base error. Desea gets the base hit. Brea scores all the way from first. He was going to third, and he scores on the error by the right fielder. Six errors by Medford. Boy, they are very gracious guests. Hit slow to third. Nice play by Burns to Pucci. Not an easy play. Lara can run. So the out is made, but not before. A big error in the outfield allows Bray to score all the way from first. And Classical adds to the lead. It's now Classical 3. Medford nothing, and Medford's down to their last 3 outs as we go to the 7th inning. Top of the order for Medford as we start the 7th inning. David Cohen bounced to the pitcher and fly to center field. 1, 2, 3 for Medford, and they need an inning. Fishing low for a ball. Medford's only had 2 base runners. They only have 1 base hit in the game. Walsh with that rocket arm, and he needed it. That's a very close play. He throws him out. So they get the 1 base hit, and it was thrown out on the base pass. They get the 1 walk, it was thrown out on the base pass. John Wright is grounded to second, grounded to short. Waves at that pitch. Wright is on the losing end, and it's tough. He's given up 3 runs. All 3 runs are unearned. Gave up 6 base hits. Struck out 1 and hit a batter. The hit batsman didn't hurt him. But errors have been the difference. 6 errors by Medford. Lined in the center field. Diving and making the catch. Roky Brea with an unbelievable catch. Looked like Medford had their second base hit. Wright was going to get his first hit. And Brea come on and picked it off the turf. What an unbelievable play. Both Breas have made 2 great plays in the outfield. Medford down to their last out. And this could be it. Popped up. Owenesian makes the play. Another great performance by Figueroa. He faces 21 hitters. Gave up 1 base hit, 1 walk. Both of them were thrown out on the base pass trying to steal. He only faced 21 hitters. He's only faced 1 over the limit in the last 14 innings, and he's only given up 1 base hit in 14 innings. He's been immense here at Frazier Field. Classical gets back on the winning track as they knock off a very good Medford team. Medford was very gracious. They made 6 errors and only got 1 base hit. And Classical wins it. Classical in the 4th inning. Roky Brea reached on an error, stole second, went to third on Ronald Brea's base hit. Scored when the catcher tried to pick him off at third. They threw it into left field. After a ground out, moved Brea over to third. Emerson Lara got an infield hit, knocking Ronald Brea home. So both Breas scored the 2 runs in that inning. Lara got the RBI. It was 2-0. And then in the 6th, Roky Brea got a base hit. After an out, he got eliminated by Ronald Brea on a fielder's choice at second base. And then Budasea singles into right center field. It was misplayed by the right fielder behind him. Ronald Brea came all the way around to score his second run in the game to make it 3-0. And that was the difference. And Figueroa made it stand up. Didn't pitch the no-hitter like he did last game, but he pitched a one-hitter and only faced 21. Last time he pitched a no-hitter and faced 22 hitters in 7 innings. This time he pitched a one-hitter and faced 21 hitters in 7 innings. A walk and a hit, and both of them were picked off. For Classical, Mark Walsh had a base hit. Rocky Brea had 2 hits, was on base 3 times when they never scored a run. Christian Figueroa hit 2 shots that were outs. Ronald Brea had a hit, reached in the fielder's choice and scored 2 runs. And both Rocky Brea and Ronald Brea made 2 great plays. The last one in the 7th inning, that diving catch off the turf by Rocky Brea. Bujasea got a base hit, and that was the one that was misplayed in the outfield that allowed Ronald Brea to score. Emerson Lava got hit by a pitch, got an infield hit for an RBI, and that was it. So Glasgow gets 3. They get back on the winning track. They go to 8-2, and I don't know if this puts them in the first place. And Medford told me they were in first place with 6-1 in the league. Glasgow knocks them, gets them their second loss. Glasgow now has 2 losses, so they may be tied for first place in the GBL. We don't have standings for the GBL, but they're at least tied with Medford in the loss column in the GBL. So Medford will go to 6-5. Glasgow will go to 8-2, and Coach Regato gets his second win to go 2-1 in his new coaching stint. So Glasgow with 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, all given up by 6 Medford errors. Figueroa, immense on the mound, doesn't let Medford even come close. They never got a run at the second base in the game, giving up only 1 base hit and 1 walk, and they were both out on the base pass. So Glasgow wins it 3-0 to get back in the win column. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.